Hey guys, Coach Jason. So do you stretch before you run or after you run? Do you stretch on days where you don't run or don't work out? It's a question that I cannot emphasize how important it is. And I can't emphasize the importance of doing the right things, okay? And I speak from not only 20 plus years experience as a former competitor and a current coach and USATF certified coach, but also a longtime martial artist, and I'm also a Wharton certified musculoskeletal flexibility therapist. So I learned a long time ago the importance of flexibility and how much more specific it should be to the activity that you're participating in. Okay, now long ago when I started competing, I started running track in high school. The norm was static stretching, and that it was in a lot of places, and it still is in a lot of places. So And one of the things I realized that, at least for me, as I was having calf cramping issues and Charlie horses and hamstrings and stuff like that because I wasn't flushing out my legs after hard workouts, and I wasn't, warmed up enough prior to workouts. And so there were certain things that I learned over the years doing static stretching. So it wasn't right for me. And that's when I learned the active isolated flexibility method by Jim and Phil Wharton. And it was a life changer for me. It was a game changer for me. I learned it in 1998. I got certified in 1999. And I've been doing it for the last 22 years. Okay. And not only on myself, but on all my athletes who are willing participants. And I show my students. I'm a multiple black belt holder in a couple different martial arts. And I teach. And I stress the importance of dynamic flexibility and active flexibility. Static stretching is also a norm in a lot of martial arts, classes and stuff like that. You have a condensed class, or the classes could be 40 minutes to an hour or something like that. So you're trying to fit in as much as you can. But the importance of doing the right movements prior to are important. But more specifically towards running for this video, I can't emphasize how important knowing that you have a flexibility routine out there that's very sports specific and specific to running. I can't emphasize how important knowing that there is one out there. So I'm going to post 2 videos in the description down below. Number 1, I take you through a full active isolated stretching routine that you could do prior to a run or after a run. It's not only a great way to help your body warm up and get blood circulating before a run, but it's also a great way to help flush out the legs after a run, particularly a hard workout or a hard run. You want to speed up the recovery process? It's a good thing to do. If you have the time, it's good to do a full routine prior and a somewhat of a modified routine after running or after working out, just to help speed up the recovery process if you have the time. But if you have to choose between the two, I would do it before, okay? To make sure that your body is kind of lubed up. It's essentially spraying WD-40 onto the joints and muscles and doing it in such a way where it differs. So static stretching is essentially holding a stretch for about 30 to 60 seconds. So if you've seen, you're standing up, you're touching your toes like this, or leaning on something, you're trying to hold, or you're down leaning below, trying to go like this and hold and stuff, or you're stretching your calves, doing this, right? Holding for a period of time. One of the things that it's not doing is it's not warming up your muscles. It's not triggering any, more blood circulation because you're not moving. Okay? So not moving is not necessarily training your body to move fast. Okay? So this is where active isolated flexibility comes into play. Okay? It's now you're holding a stretch for 2 to 3 seconds, but it's specific to the muscle you're trying to stretch. Because if sometimes if you're trying to touch your toes, you irritate your back, right? Or you're holding like this, trying to lean forward, you could irritate your back or your neck or something like that. Or you're standing up trying to stretch your calves, right? And you could be putting a little bit of a stress on your Achilles or your entire body weights. It's very difficult to stretch your muscle when your entire body weight's on it. Or have you seen this one when you're up there holding your quad? Right? Well, what if your knees are unstable? Okay? This can cause some issues. Whereas active isolated flexibility, you're actively isolating one muscle at a time while not irritating any other areas of your body. Okay? And you'll see the routine. I take you through it. It's with a stretch rope. Which you can use a long sleeve t-shirt and stuff like that if you have one. But if you have the ability to get a rope, I highly encourage you to do it. And this routine could be a life changer for you, even if you only use it for a couple of muscle groups. I encourage you to use it for your entire body. I've studied, I learned from Jim and Phil Wharton, the pioneers of this art, a long time ago, and we worked on anything from construction workers to opera singers to bankers to professional athletes, a lot of professional athletes. I was at the 2000 Olympic trials with them in Sacramento, California. Worked on all the different track and field athletes. That was a learning experience, and just being there to participate in that whole experience. And it was a great learning experience. Not only being a competitive runner myself, but also a flexibility therapist. It's a whole different level of learning, and learning how to implement this, whether it's a young high school runner or a professional track athlete of some sort, all different body types, and you'll see how beneficial it could be towards opening up areas like your chest, your lower back, your hamstrings, your hips, your glutes, areas where there could be a lot of trouble spots, particularly for runners. This routine can really, really, really help aid in these issues there and addressing these issues. So I want you to know about it. I encourage you to watch the videos in the description. I take you through a full routine, and then in other videos I start to emphasize going a little bit deeper into the foot and ankle and the soleus and the Achilles and the calf, your gastrocnemius. Okay, very important areas as well, particularly if you're a ball of a foot runner, or if you have some issues with calves and ankle rolling and things like that. That could be a really, really beneficial video. But generally, if your calves are tight, you're generally just going to lead to tight hamstrings, which could lead to issues in your lower back. If your IT bands, which run the outside of your leg, are tight, it could cause knee problems. And do you know how to stretch your IT bands? How do you stretch your IT bands without putting your body weight on it? So I take you through that in the videos. So you'll learn a different routine. Okay, and at the very least, knowing that it's available to you will make a heck of a lot of difference. But this could also be the difference between going out for a 10-mile run and needing 3 to 4 miles to feel warmed up, or feeling good right out the gate, or running in the cold weather and not warming up after doing a static stretch routine. Okay, and then trying to run fast, or running a race and you're going to go warm up 2 miles and let the body warm up, and then you're going to static stretch, which is going to cool it down, and then you're going to try and trigger it back up. It's kind of counterproductive to the warm up and then the race, right? This is going to take you through a little bit of a different routine. Actively holding a stretch for 2 to 3 seconds, releasing and doing it 8 to 10 times repeatedly, moving back and forth, and you will feel a significant difference in terms of how you feel after doing this routine. Okay, that's something I'm confident that you'll be able to do. And again, you don't have to be an expert in a routine, but once you get a routine like this down, it'll generally take about 15 minutes to do, but it'll be one of the best 15 minutes you'll invest in every single day. Even if you're not running, doing a routine like this in the morning can help you feel nice and loose and limber throughout the day. And I do that even on days when I'm not working out. I actually do this routine before I go to martial arts training, knowing that a lot of the stretching there is going to be static, and then incorporating dynamic routine. So I purposely do this routine, okay, so that I'm loose everywhere and the blood's already circulating in my muscles. So please take a look at this video and let me know what you think. Give me your feedback, okay? If you have questions, don't hesitate to put them in the comments down below. If you want to reach out to me directly, you can reach me at blackbeltrunningcoach@gmail.com. I'm more than happy to help. But I hope this help you improve your running, and please share with other people that you know. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel and you want good running content, please do so. And take a look at the training programs. I've got training programs from the half mile all the way up to the marathon, all different levels, workouts galore. Almost everything you can imagine is on this channel. So enjoy, be safe, look out for each other. Talk to you next time.